Good afternoon, and welcome to Charge Conference. I appreciate so much your being here, and if I didn't get to speak to you ahead of time, I hope I will be able to do that before I leave. I'm Mary John Dye, the new district superintendent for the new Statesville district in the newly organized annual conference, and we just wanted to say how rich it is an opportunity for me to be able to come and have a chance to get to know you. Let me say a couple of words about what you've got in your hand. In your hand, you have the program for the Charge Conference, which is the business and worship of our annual meeting time together. You also should have received a prayer calendar, which I would like to use to offer to invite you to be a part of the daily prayer support for our pastors, their families, and the churches in the district. And you will notice that there's a certain day that I set aside to do more than what I call throw-up prayers, which is, dear Lord, bless my churches. But I mean really intentional, significant, disciplined, and focused prayer on behalf of your church and your pastors on those days. And your prayers are as good as mine, and so I would like to invite you to be a part of the prayer support for the churches of our district. There's also a clipboard or sheet of paper going around somewhere that has a place for you to register your name and your email address. I'd like to say just a word about that. One of the things about our connection, which technology now allows us to improve upon, is email. I don't know much about blogging, but I'm the queen of email. And I am emailing our pastors, and they have to give me their email address. But I would also love to be in spiritual conversation with laity from across the district. And if you'll give me your email address, that's what the purpose of that would be. If later you decided to unsubscribe, that would be fine too. But I would love to have some direct relationships. And heretofore, everything has gone through the pastors. And that's not a good thing. It's not good for them, and it also inhibits what can be a direct and vital relationship with lay people. So the sheet will register your attendance for the Charge Conference, but it will also give us a chance to have ongoing conversation in the important work of building the kingdom. And I'd like to say a word to you about what Charge Conference is and what it is not. Charge Conference is an important two-way street in two regards. In one regard, let me assure you that Charge Conference is not a time for us to come and do what we've already done. That does not make any sense to me. I don't know a person on the planet that needs another meeting to go to. And so Charge Conference is not a time for us to come and do what we've already done. Charge Conference is a time when I come as a connectional representative to bless you and thank you for the work that you've already done and for the fruit that brings us to this point. Not a time to undo, redo, or make do even with what you have done. It is a time to bless the fruit of your work, to thank you for what you have done, and for me to have the chance to affirm for you something I hope you already know in your heart. And that is that the most important work that happens in the church happens here. It happens in the local church. It does not happen in the district office. It doesn't matter how excited the district superintendent is about her or his work. And if our new bishop was sitting right here on the front row, I would also say that the most important work that happens in the church does not happen from the Episcopal office either. The most important work that happens in our church happens in the local church, where people are sharing the love of Christ with each other and with a world in need. And that happens at the local church level in an irreplaceable way. And we thank you for that. We thank you for every gesture of love. We thank you for every invitation to discipleship. We thank you for every innovative program. We thank you for all the ways that you are making Christ real in the world. And we, in the connectional dimensions, are here to encourage you, to support you, to resource you, and to equip you for that good, important, and vital work. So I'm here to say thank you to your church for all that you do for Christ. The other thing that Charge Conference is is it is an opportunity for at least once a year, although I've got to hope it happens more, for every church in the United Methodist Connection to get the perspective that is so rich and so vital and so important to us. That is to say that what we do in the United Methodist Church is so much bigger and so much greater than any one congregation. I look forward to hearing your ministry report of what you've done in your local church. But I am so happy to be able to come for us to say this is our connectional meeting where we all affirm, no matter how large or how small, the congregations where we do our disciple making, that we are a part of something much greater than any one congregation. In our culture, we have lots of congregation-based churches. If that's the best way for people to walk with the Lord in a way that they feel most fulfilling, then they have a number of choices where congregations are organized around their congregations and what they feel that God is calling them to do. And we bless them in that work and thank them for what they're doing for Jesus. But the United Methodist Church is not a congregation-based organized church. We are a connectional church. And what that means is that in every church, in our connection, like I say, no matter how small or how large, we are all a part of something much greater than our congregations. And it's just like praise songs remind us that we praise God no matter what the circumstances, whether our personal circumstances at that time are good or awful. You know, the gift of the connection is that no matter how faithful and how wonderful your report might be, or how struggling your honest report might be, we are all a part of something much greater than we could ever dream of because of our connection. It's because of our connection that we're able to be there. I mean, within 48 hours after a disaster strikes, either in this country or around the world. It's because of our connection that we can say that we are involved in evangelistic ministries, medical missions, educational missions, agricultural missions, all around the world. That's a unique celebration that we get to have as a connectional church. And that's what happens at Charge Conference. We thank you and we bless you for your important, vital, and irreplaceable work on the ground level of making disciples for Jesus Christ. And we celebrate the fact that we are a part of a worldwide church that is serving Christ faithfully, calling people to follow Jesus, and working at transformation on God's behalf in some marvelous and remarkable ways. That gives us a great deal to celebrate. And so I'm asking for us to stand now and sing together a hymn that, an old hymn that reminds us of the gift of the church called I Love Thy Kingdom, Lord. Will you stand as we sing?